never underestimate how just 1 week where you truly ground yourself, what that will do for you, Moving into this next era, because that's what it is. We're moving into a next era. First off, if it's your first time here, my name is Heinz. Today in Hindsight, we like to get right into things. We don't like to waste time because your energy, your attention is your most valuable asset, your most valuable resource. And I've been talking to quite a few people lately, and I'm just loving how it seems like many of us are just in alignment with one another. Like we had similar years in 2025 and maybe even 2024. And we're also moving into a new chapter. And a lot of people I've been talking to, 2025 was difficult. It was a difficult year for a lot of people. And that is beautiful because there's a lot of growth in that. But moving into 2026, a lot of people tell me, they're like, yo, I'm feeling like a new beginning. And I'm like, you too? I'm like, me too. In so many different ways, so many different crossroads. It's a brand new chapter. We're closing old storylines with a decision. Imagine that. Just a decision in your mind can allow you to completely move in a new direction, in the direction that matters. It is a decision to let go of what no longer serves us. Our old ways may not serve us in this new space. And if you are also in this group alignment where you feel like you're releasing and you're reviving and you're stepping almost into a new space for yourself, man, really embrace that. Never underestimate your resets. One good grounding week can make all the change. A lot of us, we get a little bit ahead of ourselves and, we lose track. We lose our focus. Maybe our eating habits, our sleeping habits, falls out of alignment, out of sync. And then we feel ourselves spiraling again. Oh no, this always happens. Why can't? Just 1 week where you just reset. You have those rituals every single week to bring you back. You tell yourself when you're going to go for your walks. Maybe you do Pilates. You understand? Maybe your gym routines, your meditations, your qigong, your little tea ceremonies, whatever it means. But you get in there and you first pour. Make that let's make that our main priority. To first pour. I just love that. First pour into ourselves every single day. First pour into ourselves every single day so we can embrace this new change. I am actually quite excited because everybody I talk to, it's just this new energy. And it's at the same time, when I talk to many people, they're kind of nervous about it as well. Nervous, but excited because it's when life changes, it's yeah, many good things come. But at the same time, even the things that we enjoy, those things change as well. And a lot of us, I think this season is really just about, first off, having gratitude for everything we just experienced. You understand? And just knowing that we did that. You climbed that mountain, you got familiar in a new space, you challenged yourself, you went through some storms. But you didn't allow that to, make you quit. Your heart's still intact. You still got dreams, you still have some hopes. Don't lose sight of that. We're going to first pour back into that every single day. I realized, I was like, Heinz, you haven't really been in your journals as much, reflecting as much. And I'm like, I miss that. I miss that inner dialogue with self. Just getting down in the notebook and just, writing and really getting into detail, how we want this next year to be. What are the internal rewards that we are, seeking to create, and the external ones as well. But seeing it clearly, even if you feel like you don't know how you're going to make it happen, even if you feel a lot of resistance, just knowing that, no, this is happening for me. No ifs, no woulds. It's no, this is, and when this is happening, right? We're shifting our language to make sure that we're creating a beautiful life for ourselves, knowing that we're affirming it to ourselves that yes, we deserve this life, whatever life that you're creating. And it is happening. And we're planning, we're preparing, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. So I just love this energy. We're really moving into a new year. And I was like, man, let's make sure that we're always mindful of like how our energy is doing, being in tune with our mind, our body, and our spirit. What does the body need? Don't put it into overdrive. If you need a quick reset. What about the mind? What about your emotional self? You understand? Maybe you just need to cuddle with your love a little bit. You know what I mean? But being very mindful of what all parts of ourselves need, and not going too far, sacrificing those parts, because those parts are very necessary. You understand? Having a whole self intact. I believe that's how we create a life for ourselves that's actually in alignment, instead of going down one way and then realizing like, oh my God, we forgot about these necessary parts of ourselves. You understand? We should be nurturing and taking care of our mind, body, and spirit together. That is possible. You know what I mean? Don't underestimate even just how one good grounding day can set you up for the whole week, for the whole month. You understand? I would like write down in your journal like the things you do for your self-care that just bring you back. And first pour into those, make it a priority. Recognize that life loves you, so love it back. You understand? Romanticize your life a little bit more. Pour back into it. And let's try to like move with more love for life, not fear for life. Let's say like this, like, let's say you're a creator, right? You understand? Maybe you're struggling a little bit with finances. Don't create content from the attitude of, I need to make money. You're going to make money. Don't worry. But create it from the attitude of, I want to bring my world into this world. I want to show people how I feel and my vision. And I want to create this beautiful, immersive experience and develop community. You understand? Like really try to shift your attention and your energy to a place where it's about expression and building out of the love for life, wanting to experience life, versus, oh no, if I don't do this, I'm going to lose this. If I don't do this, this is going to happen. If I don't do this, I'm not valuable. If I don't, like, let's move ourselves out of that scattered place of fear. Because that's, even though that is energy and it is a source of fuel, it's limited. You understand? It's very limited and it lacks magic, right? It does have adrenaline, right? But it lacks the magic. And I think moving into 2026, it's going to be a magical year. You understand? We really want to be in tune with ourselves. A lot of us, maybe you're going to be starting a new business. Maybe you're going to be moving somewhere else. You understand? Maybe you're going to be just launching, who knows, elevating your voice, your message, your vision. You understand? Maybe you have a little side hobby that you feel like you're finally ready to share with the world. You understand? Because every single one of us has a gift. Every single one of us has a gift, and we have a soft spot in our heart for service to humanity in some way. And I always say, if you can figure out what your gift is and what your soft spot is and bring them together, that is the sweet spot. That is when you have meaning and purpose and energy is just brewing. And if you need a good place to showcase everything that you are doing to elevate yourself, or just even get the vision started a little bit, you understand? Our sponsor, Squarespace, has everything that you need to succeed online. So whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to time, all in one place, all on your own terms. A powerful feature they have on Squarespace is design intelligence. It will make your life so easy. You answer a few questions, your style, your purpose, the feeling you want people to experience, and it generates a full layout that already carries your vibe. No blank page stress, just a foundation that feels like you. Then there's Squarespace payments, so you can get paid and live a nice, resourceful life. And honestly, it's effortless. People can check out using popular payment methods Accept credit cards like PayPal, Apple Pay, and in eligible countries offer customers the option to buy now and pay later. All built in, all secure, all handled in just a few clicks. And one of my favorites, memberships, because community, we need more community in the world, even online. This is where your community finds a home, private areas, special drops, guided experiences, early releases, free or paid. Whatever your flow is, it lets your deepest supporters stay close. And it gives you one place to build something real with them. So if you're ready to bring everything together and take your brand to the next level, go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Hinds to save 10% off your first purchase. The greatest story you will ever know is the one that you are living yourself. Sometimes you just have to look back at some of the narratives that have been on the top of your mind, the ones that you have been living through, and just say, I'm done. You know, you like look at, like, imagine this is like a book, right? This is the book of your life so far. And you're just like, you know what? I'm done. New book. And then you open up a new book and you write your first new chapter. And that's what this next year may be. Who cares? Yeah, you went through some things. Yeah, you had some failures. But who cares? Get rid of those old storylines, those old narratives, and just step into a new being, you understand? Rebrand yourself. Who cares? You understand? You have that power. You are the writer, the director, you understand, the editor, the main character. Sometimes you're the supporting character as well. That's a fun place to be as well, you understand? But you're all these things in one. And I always say, when you wake up in the morning, nobody else is waking up in your body. So nobody else should really have a vote on how you're going to live your life. You live your life the way you want to live your life. You build your life the way you want to build it. And stop seeking all the approval. I always say, imagine every time you take a step in life, you had to look and ask if you were taking the right step. How slow would you move? Like, imagine literally if you were outside and every time you took a step, you looked around like, hey, am I going the right direction? It would be silly. A lot of us, we allow the opinions of others to truly slow us down or sometimes just keep us stagnant. But I always say, we might as well be ourselves. Undeniably, which is hard sometimes, but we should be ourselves undeniably. So the ones that love us can come closer, and the ones that don't can move out the way. And when we are ourselves undeniably, you know what else happens? Do you know what else happens? You get a lot closer to yourself. You look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I love you. You hear your own voice and you're like, man, it's good to hear you again. You sit down, you have some tea, you sit in silence and you're like, I enjoy being with you. You're like, I'm in good company. That's a good feeling. When you can be by yourself and you feel like you're in good company, like you enjoy your own presence. And that's what this new chapter is about. Loving your own presence. What can you do to love your own presence moving into this next season? I can't answer that question for you, but for me, man, it always comes down to like just a lot of creativity for me, like, you know, and just doing it because like I just want to build my world, you know, not because like I need to grow followers or anything like that. Like that stuff is the effects of it. But really for me, I find like a lot of love for self and I'm just deep in that process, in that flow state, expressing myself, trying new things, you know, showing up, you know, being of our word. I think that's something a lot of us have to forgive ourselves for is we said we're going to do something, then we did it. And then we lost trust with ourselves. We lost confidence because we didn't have the evidence, right? We lost the confidence because we didn't have the evidence. But again, new storyline, get rid of that. We're in a new storyline. That's an old book, whatever, close it. We opened it up. Now we say something and we do it. We may fail, but we learn and we laugh at our mistakes. You understand? Yeah. But we celebrate our growth and our progress as well because progress is perfection. That's all we're focused on moving into this next season is progress. We're not trying to get it perfect. Progress is perfection. Just simply having motion. You understand? Motion from a place of I love life and life loves me. So I want to live life. I want to embrace life. I want to See what else life has for me. Just having that attitude, you understand? The greatest story you will ever know is the one that you are living yourself. Never underestimate what one good grounding week could do. What could you do today, right now, after you watch this video, to set the tone for the rest of the next week? Don't think about everything you have to do in life, all the weight on your shoulders, all your worries, but just one thing that could set the tone. More self-care. That make it sensual if you have, do you understand? Become more intimate with yourself in this season. Truly to the point where you look at yourself and you're just like, I F with you. I like you. I like your growth. I like what you've been doing. Good job. Congratulations. You understand? You're loving on yourself. And that's a magnetic energy. That gives you aura. You understand? It gives you lore. Like people could feel it. You just start to exude it. You're not judging yourself all day. Every day you may stumble, but you laugh it off and you just keep going. That's a beautiful place to be. That's the energy in 2026. We're expanding. You're expanding. It is possible. Be somebody that believes in the possibilities. And this is a practice. You have to practice a mindset that believes in possibilities by reaffirming it to yourself, by saying you're going to do something and then do it. Show up for yourself, right? So you believe in your own words. When we don't believe in our own words, oh man, it's a very difficult place to be, but we can climb out of that. But start making micro commitments to yourself and completing them. So you become an individual, a human being that trusts their own word. So when you say, oh, I'm going to go and do this big thing, you know it's happening. You know it's happening. When I was younger, still young, I'm getting older though. When I was younger and I had big dreams, I'd always tell people, I'm like, how do you explain something that's never been done before? Didn't know how I was going to get there, but I had undeniable, unshakable, crazy, delusional faith in it because I just believed in my abilities. I believed in my ability to figure it out. I believed in my ability that if I had to go learn something, I would go learn it to figure it out, right? Understand that you are a human being. Like you have so much potential, so much possibility, right? Put the phone down, touch some grass, and just get back to your dreams, right? Get back to yourself. Don't underestimate what you can do in 1 week. Just one good grounding week can completely shift your energy in a beautiful direction. So we're really being mindful of our energy and our body and our mind and what we need. And don't become too rigid. You may be like, listen, I have a lot of building to do, so I'm just going to put everything else on pause. But you may also need love in your life if you're able to create that within your community to also fuel you along the way. We are living our life while, not living our life when. Yes, we'll make sacrifices at times and, certain things will go on pause, but we're living our life while, not when. We're not putting life on pause and just being like, okay, no. We are being happy while we are living our life. We're not going to be happy when we get somewhere. No, we're happy while, we understand. So we're still just finding ways to make sure we're fueling the emotional self, the physical self, the spiritual self, and the mental self. Right? Don't let go of the physical self, right? Don't let go of the emotional self. That's important. The emotions, man, those drive everything. You know how those are. The mental self, oh my God, when we're not right up here, nothing works. Again, the physical self, when we're lethargic and tired because we're not sleeping or eating right, it's impossible to get the mind to achieve what we believe. And then our spiritual self. Oh man, that's so important. That's like a different type of energy and guidance, just knowing that you are guided and gifted, having that faith, that's very important as well. All parts of ourselves are so important. Let's remember that. And yeah, I really do think we need to be posting more videos. And it's been on my mind for a long time, but I really do think we need to be posting more videos so we can kind of just be in this accountability journey together. But what my mood is these days is it's like self-care, self-love, all of that, but make it sensual. You understand? Make the healing just really joyful and playful. That's the energy I want to move through. I don't want to be like in this like, oh, like, I don't know, this like self-help, like personal development like lane. I just want to make, self-love, self-care, but make it central, make it more of a vibe. You understand? Like we're just being playful with life because we love life and life loves us. And you already done know in hindsight everything gonna be more than all right. Feeling good about this new year coming up. And I love how we're in it together. Leave a comment, tell me how you feeling, and hit that notification bell so you can join me on one of our next live streams. I'll see you soon.